As we sit here for this press briefing, the whole point that we want to highlight, especially for the public at large, especially the public in Meghalaya, the rural belt in particular, is that the BJP is trying to kill the soul of Manrega, not necessarily because they're trying to kill the soul of it, but it is some sort of an unforgivable attack into our social justice, the constitution, and especially the poorest of the poor people. And this is a direct attack to the poor people. Why we believe so that this is a direct attack to the poor people? Because the Manrega Act, as it is, it actually guarantees jobs. It guarantees jobs for the rural belt, the rural population, ensuring that come what may, 100 days of job is something that is your right to get. Now, with this passing of this new act, what is going to happen is that it throws the power away from the public and it gives the power to the government. And the government now will decide on so many things that, so the dignity of labor of a villager, the strength of the villages, and the administrative power of the villages is all gone. Now, the moral responsibility of the state to protect the weakest is actually been taken away. So this is what is the biggest attack that the BJP is doing to the public at large, be it in Meghalaya, be it in Haryana, be it in UP, be it anywhere. Now the other point is that we're trying to say here is that uh, with this new act that they have formed, the budgets as to what money will go to which village and so on and so forth will be decided by Delhi, who has no link and no understanding of the grassroots level of what is happening in those villages as far as we are concerned. And on top of that, everything will be in the cloud of that bureaucratic structure. Whether they will give, they will not give, whether they'll notify, they will not notify, all of that will happen in the hands of the government, which is a very dangerous trend again. Because now then what will happen is that there will be no efficiency, there will be no social justice whatsoever. We are particularly against this because of these things, especially when we look at it. Because the truest term that will impact the public at large, I'll give you an example, is that there will be definitely, okay, while they say that they've increased the day from 100 to 125 days, but in reality the number of days will definitely get reduced because they are curtailing on the budget that they will allocate, and that's for sure to happen. They will ensure that women folks, especially in the rural belt, will not get paid at all. They will not get the right to work. They will not be able to work, for which their survival survivability of families will be definitely under threat. And these families who probably will not be able to survive will probably start migrating from villages to cities, and that's a very very big threat, especially for places like Meghalaya, whereby we don't have the capacity to absorb as many people as possible, and especially for cities like Shillong and so on and so forth. So which means that villages now will have access to funds, access to livelihood will be far, far lesser than what it is. So now the problem is it will even boil down to the other aspects of family life, which means that children will be pulled out of school, will be asked to go and work, which is also a very dangerous trend that might occur because of, you can understand that in Meghalaya, as Baban has earlier mentioned, that 15 lakhs people are under this umbrella of you. So 15 lakhs people will get impacted for sure in some way or the other, and that might impact their family. And if children get pulled away from their school just so that they can sustain a livelihood and they asked to work, then that something is will be which will be detrimental for our society at large. Okay, so the other thing is that exploitative labor also will start happening. So people are not able to get the dignity of labor, for which other contractors and other people, employers might take full advantage of this and ensure that they pay far, far less than what they're supposed to pay, because there's no competition from the government who ensures that their livelihood is being taken care of. The other thing is that a lot of these families, especially in rural belt, if they have financial burdens, they will start looking for funds from somewhere else. they'll start taking loans, they'll start doing everything else. And there are a lot of opportunist people out there who will definitely take them into consideration. And what will happen is that many families will be stuck in what we call as a debt trap. So if they're stuck in a debt trap, then what happens is that they'll never be able to pay back. So they'll become slaves on their own land, on their own fields, and on their own villages, which is a very dangerous trend. So we feel that, it is not just the name change that is what we protesting so much about. It is all the other things that might impact the society at large. And in Meghalaya especially, whether they say that no, the funding will continue like how it is before, this is just lip services that we feel that we believe that they are doing. But in reality, believe it or not, we can 100% be sure that this will definitely impact the village life as far as we are and our understanding is concerned. And Meghalaya being such a poor state, this will impact the livelihoods of many people. This will impact our society. This will impact in so many ways, which we believe that we should protest. And this is not that we're just saying it for the party's sake or whatever it is. We are also calling other parties, like other regional parties from the state, to come up and raise your voice when it comes to this. This is not just about politics. This is more to do with the livelihood of the the millions of people who are living in Meghalayas also. Yeah.